It was really good. It was nice to get back home and just not do anything for a little while. It was quick though for a good reason. But I feel like every off season you're ready for it to get there, and then a couple weeks in you're like, gosh, I'm ready to. I'm not very good at just sitting around and not playing and doing that kind of stuff. So I'm ready to play again.
There was a lot to digest in your short time in the big leagues. So when everything died down, what did you take out of 2023?
Gosh. You never know. Just keep your head down and keep playing. You never know what's going to happen. I would never have told you in spring training last year that, I'd be where we're at now as a team and as an individual. But just a bunch of guys that worked hard and, play for each other, and here we are now. So it's unbelievable.
What do you apply from last year now?
I think that it's going to be really helpful just having a little bit more experience. And I feel like playoff experience has to count for a little bit more. So, hopefully just a little bit more comfort on the head, just a little bit of ease, I guess, for the mind going into the season. There shouldn't be as much, stress or anxiety about, hey, this is new to me. So, I think that's only going to be a good thing.
You talked a lot last year about how you kind of flew under the radar as a prospect. Now you're a top 5 prospect in baseball. You're Rookie of the Year favorite. Do you even think about those things now that there are a lot more eyes on you?
You try not to. It's hard not to see it, but I definitely try not to think about it because that's not what it's about. We're here to win again, so that's the whole goal. You got to play good to win. So that might, if that comes along with it, then it's icing on the cake the way I see it.
Have you been at big league camp every season?
Just last year was my first one. Yep, last year was my first one.
I don't know if you've had a chance to meet Wyatt yet.
I did in breakfast. Yeah, I did in breakfast. That was my first time. Yep.
But last year you were called up for a team that's trying to win a pennant, ready to win now. He might be in that situation this year. What advice would you give from your experience if he is put in that situation?
I think that just leaning on how many veterans are on this team. There's a lot of guys that have been there, done that for a lot of years with a lot of experience, and I leaned on them heavily. And that's what I would tell anybody is to, if you got a good group of guys like we have here, you've got to lean on their, advice and what they have to say for sure.
What did you work on this offseason? What do you want to be better at?
For me, I wanted to gain a whole lot of weight because I weighed about 175 pounds in the World Series. It was bad. But I'm back up to 192, 193, so that was my goal this offseason was to gain all my weight back.
How did that happen? Did you stop eating when you got called up?
Yeah, no, I gained weight when I got called up. I think that I got sick. So I was sick. That did not help. Playing in 110 degrees in Frisco, that didn't help. Playing the most games I've ever played, that didn't help. So just a whole lot of, firsts for me that were really hard on, the type of body, I guess, that I have. But, I think that food's a little bit better up here, so it'll be a lot easier to hold it this year. A lot of donuts, just as much. I was always eating just as much as I could eat.
What did you? What weight did you report at last year?
192. I've been about 192 for about 3 years now. Every spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and you are right there.
That's what I like. I like being about 192. I feel my best. I feel strong but still quick. The most I've ever weighed was 2021. I weighed 200. Broke my back, so I don't want to do that
There's
again.
There's a thin line, right?
Very thin line. Yeah, no, I feel good where I'm at.
Listen, based on your performance last year, right? It'd be really difficult for anybody to have any kind of nits to pick. But everybody being critics, people will look at 10 at bats against lefties in the big leagues, and they'll look at the numbers, the batting average, not the on-base percentage against lefties in the minors. Is there anything that you felt like you tried to address this offseason in particular where lefties are concerned?
No, I don't think so. It's just one of those things that you get called up. You have somebody like Robbie Grossman, who is an unbelievable hitter against lefties. So it's mentally one of those things like, okay, I've never been sat before against him. I've never been, good lefties in the minors don't exist. They're all in the big leagues. So it's like, what do I want to, how do I take this? I've got, and not, talking bad about you all, but everybody around me saying I can't do it.
Right.
So it's like, how do I respond to this? So for me, in my head, I know I can do it. So it's just proving to you all that I can do it, I guess. And it's one of those things too that I got hit 6-7 times up and in by lefties last year in the minors. So
In the minor leagues?
yeah, hurt my wrist getting hit by a lefty up in the minor leagues last year. So it's just one of those things that I think a good off season and kind of resetting and just proving to you all what I know I can do, I guess.